Good morning, world. Today is already the 10th of January, Jill. Can you believe that?
Yes.
And we're very fortunate and happy to have Mr. Orrin Hudson as a guest. And Gio, uh, I'll say something about Orrin, but I'd love for you to say something about him too, because Orrin has meant so much to our collective quest in making the Daily Huddle what it is. So, folks, Orrin Checkmate Hudson is a former Alabama State Trooper, Air Force veteran, two-time World Open Speed Chess champion, and the Chief Educational Officer of Be Someone Inc., an organization dedicated to having every single human being on the planet know that wherever they are, whoever they're with, they are someone. And Orrin Checkmate has dedicated an entire lifetime to taking his prowess as a chess player to translate that into what life is and what life could be for people and for himself. Orrin, I love you to death, and I'm so glad you're here. Gio, say something about our brother, man.
So, I can't say much more other than my grandfather taught me. This is the thing. My grandfather taught me how to play chess in the coolest of nights when he would come home after a cool party with some friends, and he just loved chess. And I was smoking with him, drinking with him, and playing chess with him when I was 8 years old. And
Grandfather made
yeah,
chess
no,
cool.
he was cool as hell, man. And I wouldn't tell any parent to do something like that. But the love for the love for the game was inside of his heart, and it transcended the bad habits that we were at that point entertaining, if you will. But the chess was transcending those bad habits and connecting us to the opportunity for me to learn to think ahead. So when Orrin came to our lives, I was like, this guy is the coolest human being in the world. He's teaching kids all across America how to think ahead through chess. So Orrin, thank you for being here.
Thank you
Yes,
for
and
having me.
and folks, Orrin has a gift for all of you, and that gift is your capacity right now in this conversation to discover the most powerful move you can do in 2025. What is the most powerful move you can do in 2025? Good morning, Orrin.
All
Welcome,
right.
brother.
Good morning, everyone. Warren Buffett said the best investment you can make is the investment in yourself. And so, if Warren Buffett is the richest man on the planet, it's probably good to heed those words. So, work on yourself, develop yourself. The most powerful thing you can do is put the oxygen mask on your face first. And then, in other words, fill your cup up. Fill your cup up and feed the others from the overflow. So the most powerful move you can make is take Warren Buffett advice is that the best investment you can make is not in the stock market, although he's made billions of dollars. Not investing in Coca-Cola, although he makes a lot of money from that. The best investment you can make is an investment in yourself and fill your cup up until it overflow and feed the others from the sauce. Feed the others from the overflow because a weak person cannot make a person strong. You have to be strong to help other people. And so a powerful move in my own life is when I was playing one of the top Russian grandmasters in the world. His name is Rashid Ziatanov. And I'm playing him and I made this powerful move, which the audience at the time thought it was a bad move because actually I gave away 5 for 1. I sacrificed a rook for 1, and people in the audience thought it was a bad move. but 5 moves later, they see my agenda. So you have to take it to the end game. I said, if I give this rook up, I'm taking it to the end game. If I take it to the end game, I'm gonna win, even though I'm down a rook. So sometimes in life, the most powerful move you can make looks like a bad move.
And it
Uh,
looks like a bad move to the rest of the world, right?
Back to the work. And sometimes you have to respectfully listen to the best advice in the world and then do the exact opposite. Here's why. What's possible for you is invisible to the world. What's possible for you is invisible to the world. So it looks like a bad move. I can name a million things I've done that everybody said, man, that's crazy. Do not do that. Whatever you do not do that. It won't work. I remember one time I was playing basketball in high school. I was pretty good in basketball. And I shot this three. And the coach said, don't do that, don't do that. He go, oh, good shot. He went in, he go, oh man, good luck. Yeah, because I had the talent where I can shoot from half court and it hit pretty good. I mean, I was pretty good shooting from half court.
Yeah.
And so um in life, you got to realize that sometimes your most powerful move looks like a bad move, and you have to make your move before you're ready.
Yeah. And
Because
Owen,
good.
I'm curious about this, right? Given how long you've been playing chess, given how long you've been at this game, I'm thinking to myself, you know, Owen's made all the great moves and he's very well positioned. So, for someone in your position, Owen, what is the biggest move you're making in 2025 and why?
The biggest move I'm making in 2025 is leveraging my resources that I hadn't been leveraging. The opposite of wealth is not poor. The opposite of wealth is mismanagement of resources. Poor is just a reflection of how you manage your resources. The people have resources, but they're not using them. And so in 2025, I'm going to take some of my own advice and start leveraging my contact, leveraging my resources, taking advantage of extraordinary expertise when it's available. One of the extraordinary expertise this year I took advantage of, I called Sorrell and Giovanni, and I said, "Listen, guys, I appreciate you guys. Let's leverage who I am." And he said, "Oh, of course, let's do it." My good friend Les Brown, I'm gonna leverage him more. My good friend Jack Canfield, I'm gonna leverage him more. My good friend, a lot of people that I have access to, I'm gonna leverage. So I'm living my dream because I'm gonna start making 20. I'm gonna come alive in 2025. I'm focusing on the 80-20% of the Pareto principle, the 80-20 rule. It means that 20% gives you 80% of the result. Sometimes you just got to figure out what are the 20% of the things that's giving me 80% of the results. And how do I make my next move my best move? I don't care what happened in 2024. Let's focus on 2025 and make our next move our best move. Because what the past, you shouldn't dwell on the past because your future is in the present. So folks, be present and be in the moment and make that move, put that brick down as best as you can, and the house will be successful. Just one brick at a time, one move at a time, one life at a time. Your mind is a pearl. You could change the world.
Yeah, you've been at this for a while, and there are so many lives you've touched. I'd love to hear a story about a child you touched through chess who's now in a position and you're looking at him or her and you're going, oh my God, I'm so glad I gave my life to this.
Yeah, well, Aaron Porter stands out in my mind because Aaron Porter was a student who um, his daddy got incarcerated for 16 years. His daddy come back home, they get in a fight, and Aaron Porter was facing charges for attempted murder on his dad. And the judge gave him one more chance to turn his life around. And I trained Aaron Porter. He became a state chess champion, and now he's studying to be a pilot. So it's stories like that. I got also some students I've been training here recently that are doing some main thing. And then one of my students who I trained 20 years ago, 24 years ago, he called me and said he has 4 children and he wants me to train them. I thought that was kind of funny, but I have a lot of success stories out there. One of my students, he just graduated from Georgia State. He's living his dream. Just got a house bigger than mine. So I love pouring into young people. I tell people all the time, what you sincerely desire for others will happen for you.
Gio, what would you like to ask our good friend Orrin to open up a little bit more of his life to the world? Man, you're such an icon, brother.
Well, I'm a servant, and I get a kick out of helping other people. If I can add value to you, what I'm going to do eventually, I'm going to put something out there. If I've added 5-star service to you, please write a Google review. I did that and got about 100 reviews, and all of them are 5s because they call me the 4X guy. I took it from the Pareto principle. The Pareto principle means 80-20. Well, I do it this way. I took the Pareto principle and turned it to the Orrin Hudson formula for success. The Orrin Hudson formula for success is give people 4 times more value than they give you, and you will win every time. You give me 80. You give me. I'm gonna give you 80. You give me 20. I'm gonna give you 80 because I'm gonna give you 4 times more value than you give me. Now, when you give people 4 times more value than they give you, when you need to make a withdrawal, your request will never be denied because you always putting more in the cup than you're taking out. And the problem with society is people are doing just enough to get by. Doing just enough by will take you out. You have to give people 4 times. Jesus said 2 times. Jesus said 2x. I say 4x because you really want to stand out. And when you are constantly adding value, people will take your calls. People will show up for you. I remember I went to an event and I told the guy, I said, listen, I made a phone call to Les. He's coming out. And the guy said, there's no way. He's like, Les showed up. And they go, oh my God, he showed up. Why you just, I did tell y'all. And Les said, Orrin is the only someone I get out of my bed for on a Saturday at last minute to show up. He told the audience that. But I'm a 4X guy. And if I tell you something, you can take it to the bank. I'm walking in integrity. I'm gonna add value to you. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna add value to you. If you come to my office and hey, Orrin, I bought this shirt here and I want a refund on it, I'm giving you a refund. I don't sell shirts, but my brand, I have to protect my brand, my name. My life is about value. I'm gonna always give you more than you give me.
It's very great, Orrin. Orrin, thank you. One of the things that I'm always curious about, Orrin, and you've been doing this for many years, right? You've been hanging out even with President Bush,
Yeah.
right? Back then, since then, you've been doing this, and you also were in the Air Force or in the military. You've walked a lot of walks. When did you learn how to play chess? And when you were discovering your career move, what was the thing that bit you? What was it that happened and you said, you know what? I'm going to dedicate my life to teach children how to play chess, whether I make money or not. This is the thing I'm going to do. What happened?
Well, I focus on impact, not income. But I will say this: a white teacher in an all-black high school pulled me to the side and said, "Listen, Orrin, I'm gonna teach you how to play chess." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "I'm gonna teach you chess." I said, "I'm a checker guru." He said, "Checkers?" He said, "Checkers, you're using half of the board." He said, "Checkers is all men." He said, "Chess, the female is the most powerful piece on the board." I said, let's get on with the classes. So I owe my life to a white teacher in a high school who pulled me out of a gang. I was in a gang when I was in my 15 years old. I was following the follower. They say, do this, you do it. They say, do this, you do it. He said, listen, I'm gonna teach you how to think for yourself. He said, make sure the moves you make is a product of your conclusion. Don't be a follower, be a leader. And so I'm living my dream because of James Edge. And when I was 15 years old, pulled me to the side and taught me chess. At the time, I was a checker guru. But he told me life is chess, not checkers. Checkers, you're using every single square on the board. Checkers, you're using half of the board. He said, don't half step, play full out.
So there was this teacher who taught you the opportunity that chess is. Then you started learning, and you started discovering that you were good at chess. And then you won a tournament, and you won another tournament, or you got to the finals, the mini tournaments. Then you had this career, but then you said, no, I want to focus on impact, not income. What was it that happened?
I'll tell you what happened.
Why the career became
I'll
teaching
tell you what
thousands
happened.
of children
I'll tell you what
to
happened.
think differently?
I'll tell you the exact date. May 24th, 2000. 7 people were shot in a robbery for $2,000. And I said to myself, bad things continue to happen when concerned people fail to make boss moves. I made a boss move, stopped everything I was doing, sold my car business, sold everything I had, and started Be Someone to teach young people to put brains before bullets. My message is think it out, don't shoot it out. Brains before bullets. The only way to fight is to use your head. People are making moves without thinking. Do not do the first thing that pops in your head. Your first crack could be a whack and you can't take it back. So think before you act.
One other thing, yeah, thank you. So in 2000, 8 people got shot for $2,000. That's very sad. And you said, I'm gonna make an impact to this, right? And brain before bullets. Now you have taught Be With thousands of children, right? You invite me to your events at least 3 times a year, and they're always full of people, and the news channels are there. It's always phenomenal. And yet, chess, it's a game that most people don't understand its impact to their children. You know, do you mind sharing a little bit of what have you seen that how does chess impacts people, young people's lives and older people's lives, and how to think in life?
I have a lot of my students said, Coach, I owe you big time. And I said, why? He said, I delayed gratification like you said. I said, what do you mean? He said, you said in class, don't do the first thing that pops in your head. Your first crack at anything is never your best. He delayed gratification and he ended up getting the job that no other black people got because he thought things through, did some research on the company, was able to tell them how he could benefit them, how he can 4X and add extraordinary value, and he got the job. So a lot of times people rush into stuff. Haste make waste. So sometimes you got to think it through. Is this true? Is this honest? Is this the best move I can make? Make your next move your best move. Man up, stand up, pull your pants up. I had a student call me. He said, Coach, I did everything you told me to do, but they won't promote me on my job. He said, I arrive early, I stay late. I said, you need a couple of things I need you to do. I need you to cut your hair nice and neat, and I need you to pull your pants up. He called me back. He said, Coach, they're giving me $8 more an hour. I'm showing children how to navigate through the complexities of life and how to make your next move your best move. Your mind is a pearl. You can change the world. You have everything you need to succeed.
I'm
One of
curious.
the things. Go ahead, Sora.
Yeah, I'm curious. Chess is such a complicated game that requires practice, I imagine. I'm not as good as chess as Giovanni.
It's called repetition. Repetition.
Yeah.
You got to
So-
get your reps in. That's in anything. Football, basketball. Steph Curry shoot 5,000 balls a day. You got to get those reps in. You know, once you get the reps in, pattern recognition is the key to success in all fields. Once you know the pattern, you can plan, you can prepare, you can position, you can predict. I was on Good Morning America, and they said, man, you're really good at chess. You beat 50 people simultaneously in from board to board. And they said, how did you? I said, no, I'm not good. I'm still learning. Because once you know it all, you're no longer teachable. But I look at the board, I see the pattern, I make a move. I look at the move, go to the next one. I look at the board and I see the pattern, I make a move. Pattern recognition is what it's all about. 2, 4, 6, 8. 280 days to have a baby. That's a pattern. Red light, green light, yellow light, patterns. White skip line, yellow skip line. White skip line means traffic goes in one direction. Yellow skip line means traffic goes in two directions. There's odd numbers and even numbers on one side. 285. 285 means circle. 85 means even number, if it's 20, it's going east to west. If it's an odd number, it's going north to south. Pattern. Everything is about pattern. Pattern recognition is the key to success in all fields. Once you know the pattern, you can plan, you can prepare, you can position, you can predict. Once you know the pattern, you're successful because you know what's coming next.
And how does a master like you practice and stay sharp?
Well, the students get $1,000 if they beat me. So I have to be on top of my game. Otherwise, they're going to take me out. And so the attitude I have, I'm in pre-K. And I tell my students, I'm in pre-K. They say, Coach, you were in pre-K 30 years ago. I'm never getting out of pre-K. I said, when you guys leave here, I'm going back up into my laboratory so I can get better because tomorrow, if I don't, you're going to take me out. So you got to always be mindful that you know nothing. And I'm in pre-K. I could say first grade, but first grade is too high. Never underestimate your opponent. So if I'm always in pre-K, it's going to be hard to take me out. Because it's really not where you line up, it's where you wind up. And you have to realize that sometimes in life, you have to sacrifice. When I beat Rishad Ziyathanov and sacrificed my rook and was able to beat him, it takes courage to do that. It takes guts. You got to have courage to succeed.
Orrin, I want to say something. I want to say something about the complexity of your sacrifice in your move. Like in life, I imagine you have played almost 10,000 hours before you were in that final. And at that point, given your commitment to surrender to the game, you could see 5 or 7 or 8 moves ahead before you sacrifice. And then the rookie I am only saw your sacrifice. That's all I could see. But the person that you build yourself over the years to see sacrifice as a bold move. And I think that's one of the things I'm getting from what you're saying. There's 2 things I'm getting from what you're saying. Surrender to your craft in such a way that you could see 8 moves ahead before anyone could see them. Where people see a bad move, people see a sacrifice, you're already 8 moves ahead, winning your game. And the other thing you said, and I think it's really brilliant, and I think it needs more time to open up, and as many times as we can, is what you said. No, I'm still in pre-K about the game I have mastered. I think that's a really important thing to hold on to say a little bit more about that. You know, you can, at this point, you can beat 50 people at the same time. You have played tournaments. You teach thousands of kids every year. But the mentality is, I'm still learning. And that's a really important thing for any entrepreneur, for any business owner, for any parent, for God's sake. You don't know how to parent, right? So how do you reinvent yourself on a daily basis to see the game chess, as a pre-K kind of guy?
Well, it's amazing to me. I was looking at the world champion. His name is Magnus Carlsen. He's really not the world champion, but he is. He just didn't play, and so therefore he forfeited. But he's really the world champion. Chinese guy and a Indian guy played for it, and the Indian guy who just won. But the point is, I was watching Magnus Carlsen in New York. I was hanging out with him and his dad in New York, and Magnus Carlsen won $2 million in the match. And the reason he won the $2 million is that he gave his queen away for free. He didn't get nothing for it. He didn't take zero. Now, if he don't make this move, he lose because the other guy had made, and the other guy had made it 3 different ways. So if he don't make a move that wins, he loses. So he set his queen on the square for free in New York. I was in New York when it happened. He set the queen on the square for free. Didn't take anything. Didn't take a pawn or nothing. And when I beat Rashid, I took a pawn. I got some for it. And he gave away 9 points. A queen is worth 9. He set the queen on the square and put the king in check. King must take or or he lose. It has two ways to take. You can take with the pawn or take with the king. Either way is checkmate. The point is, school is never out for the pro. And once you know it all, you're no longer teachable. So being in pre-K is job number one. And you have to be always mindful that everybody you meet that can add value. Let me give you a story. My mom called me one day and she said, Orrin, she said, the town drunk just came up to me with some crazy advice. I said, what? He said, the town drunk told me the flower that I have is poison oak. And I bought this flower from the store. And so 2 weeks go by, my mom called me, hey, Orrin. I said, what? She said, True Green came out and said that flower that the drunk said, well, it's poison oak because poison oak took over the flower. So the drunk knew. So you got to be open to everybody, and that's why I'm in pre-K. I'm in pre-K because everyone you meet is your teacher. Everyone you meet can add value. Everyone has blind spots, and the only way you can feel those blind spots is to be in pre-K, be teachable, be humble, and realize that everyone you meet is your teacher, and that we all are angels with one wing, and we need each other to fly. Come on, somebody.
I love that. I love that. And you know, you could call. I say that's the mindset of a champion like you. We're all angels with one wing. We need each other to fly. I'm fond of talking about the collective and how there's nothing that you have that I have that I can take credit for ever. It's as a result of someone lifting something or lifting a finger that I have this code on. So thank you for saying that. The other piece that I really love is I'm always in kindergarten. And you've just created for us what it looks like to always be in kindergarten.
Exactly. Here's another point. This is very powerful. This is going to pay for your price of admission. It's going to take you to 2025 with luster and value. Here it is. Here it is. Write this down, everybody. To live is to give, and to take is a mistake. When I beat the top Russian Grandmaster Richard Ziatanov, I sacrificed that rook for a pawn. All he had to do is don't take it. Just don't take it. To take is a mistake, and to live is to give. And if you live your life being the 4X, I'm the 4X guy. I call it the Orrin Hudson principle because I took it from the Pareto principle. Pareto principle is 80-20. Well, 80-20 means if you give me 20, I'm gonna give you 80. Give people 4 times more value, 4 to 1. So, and when to give is to live and to take is made. The secret to living is giving. All you got to do is be a giver. And if you give, miracles happen. But here's the good news. Giving starts the receiving process. Nothing happens until you give and you add value first. Give, add value, and walk away. Now, I'm going to fact check myself. You can take the same principle on fact checking and put money in the bank. You put money in the bank. You put money in the bank. Now, when you get ready to make a request for a withdrawal, you can make a withdrawal. But if you kind of take, is a mistake. You can't go in the bank and say, hey, give me, can't do that. You'll get arrested. So to give is to live, and to take is a mistake. Be a giver. Give and start the receiving process. The word love means to give without expecting anything in return. The word love means to look for the good. If you're looking for the good and you give without expecting anything in return, you win every time. I'm living my dream because I've got millions of dollars of value that I've added to people, and I hadn't got a dime for it. And so because of that, miracles come back to me because I've already put it out there. I'm living my dream because we gave away 600 Christmas gifts to kids. Why? Because when I was a kid, we had 13 children, and the best part of my life is when some white people came to our house, took us to a church, and gave us some Christmas gifts. I cry to this day about that. It's like, oh my God. So I get a kick out of being a giver. I get a kick out of helping people. I love adding value.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Orrin. Yeah, adding value. Thank you for being here. Thank you for adding value. Thank you for teaching our children how to play the game of chess. Thank you for making it fun. I remember when you were doing through the pandemic, you didn't stop. You were like, everybody come on Zoom with the grandparents and the parents and the children, and teaching how to think ahead. And you've been doing it for many years, and I really hope I get to go to your office soon. I hope I get to play some chess with you and have a ton of fun. And I know that time is running out, but I would be remiss if I don't ask any of you, if you have any comments or any questions you wanna chip in before we let Orrin go. Any comments, any questions? Other than that, thank you all for being here. Orrin, thank you for being here. Well, we'll take Chase, and then we'll close up today's conversation. Go ahead, Chase.
Grand Rising, thank you, Orrin. Really great presentation. My pen is tired. I like that. I like that when my pen gets tired. My question to you, because I'm always fascinated with books. I'm a voracious book reader. Can you tell us 2 books that you could never put down that just keep haunting you with the greatest information you've ever had, or that you gravitate to even in the present day?
Bible. I mean, read Proverbs. There's 31 chapters in Proverbs. Man, I'm telling you, if you read 31 chapters every day, I'm telling you, man, it's gold, man. It's gold. The Bible is it. It's everything comes from the Bible. And Jesus said, Jesus said, if you give me a little, I'll give you a lot. They said, Jesus, we got a problem. He said, what's the problem? We don't have nothing to feed the multitude. He said, what do you got? He said, we got 2 fishes. What? He said, say that again. You got a child with 2. Bring him to me. If you give me a little, I'm gonna give you a lot. That's me. People come to me all the time. Oh, we don't have enough. Give me what you got. Give him. I'm gonna take what I have. Give me a little, I'm gonna give you a lot. So the Bible is number 1, bro. Just read it. I'm telling you, that is your answer. That is, the first chapter of Revelation, 3rd verse. It said, "Blessed is he who readeth, particularly the word of God." Come on, somebody. Can you feel a brother up in here? I won't stop till I drop, because I'm coming in hot.
I like that. I like that. What's Rashid's last name, Orrin? The guy you built.
Rashid Yakinov. It's in my book. If you Google my name, it should come up. Rashid Yakinov.
I'll look on the site.
Send me a text. I'll send you all that. 445785278.
Oh, that was
and let me be honest with you about Rashid. I met Rashid because every time I was at a tournament in the United States, he won them all. I'm like, wait a minute, this dude, every time he going to get the check, he going to get. I'm like, what the heck's going on? And I'm telling you, man, I've seen this dude beat people and take a rook off. And so interesting that I sacrificed my rook and beat him. It's interesting, but I've seen him play people reading the paper, just taking them out. I mean, people that are strong. So he was the real deal, and he won more tournaments in the United States than anyone.
You said that number really quick, Orrin, like super fast. Can you say that again?
404 578 5278. 404-578-5278.
Thank you, sir.
Well, very good. Well,
Chase.
Thank you, Chase. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Sorrel. Thank you, Orrin. I hope to see you next week, Friday. I hope you come. It will be an honor to have you and create the conversation with you of leadership, vision, and legacy. And those of you who are in Atlanta or want to come to Atlanta, we would love to have you next week at I forgot the name of the hotel, but I'm going to put the information in the chat. I would love to see you all there. And Orrin, you will be my VIP guest. Really consider being there, Orrin. And for the rest of us, if you live in Atlanta, we got some snow. So yeah, for some snow. It's been a while since we get some real snow over here. Kurt gets it all the time. He's like, snow. Who cares about snow?
Yeah. Like, all the New Yorkers are going, you guys call this snow?
No, we got a lot of snow. You need to go outside. We have maybe like 5 or 6 inches or 7 inches of snow at this point. This is pretty cool. Yeah. So thank you all for being here. Stay home, stay safe, stay warm. I love you. And there are 8 tenets to have a renegade life, and stay warm and live a super cool life. The first one is love. Love always. Love those who you have an opinion about. Love those who you disagree with. Love those who you stop loving, and love those who you're going to meet. Love. The second one is laugh more. Stretch your cheeks. Laugh out loud. Do some exercise for laughing. Doesn't matter who's watching. You just laugh. Laugh as much as you can. Stress less. There's only one life, really. really, there's only one life. I mean, some people say things about
Mm.
coming back after death, but the evidence is overwhelming. This is it. This is all there is. Take it easy. Eat more plant-based. Get closer to the trees. Hug the trees. Eat the trees. But most importantly, don't eat processed food. This is really bad for you. Don't eat processed food. Move every day. Move every day. 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes after lunch, every single day. Make a little walk. It will give you years of your life back. Give. Find a way to give some. The more you give, the more you get, but let it flow. Huh, I like that. Give your jealousy away, give your resentment away, give your love away. And always, always sleep. It's critical to sleep. 8 hours, 7 hours, sleep, get your energy back. Check your assumptions. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. We'll see you Monday. I love you. Sorrel loves you more. Have a phenomenal, phenomenal weekend. And I'll see you next Friday. Bye.
And to say this note, Orrin, these 8 tenets, brother, you embody each of them in a way that is a beacon for the world. So thank you for being that essence in the world. Thank you for practicing.
Thank you, Orrin.
Giving to live.
I want to say one thing before we close. It won't tie into what Dino just said. Movement is life, and nothing happens until something moves.
Peace and blessings, all. Thank you, Orrin.
Thank you.
Thank you, over me.
Fighting.